Welcome back, everyone. Today I am taking you on a journey to one of the most historical, rich, and cultural vibrant cities in Turkey. The name of city is Diyarbakır, known as the heart of southeast Anatolia. This city is melting pot of civilization, and I can't wait to show you why it's so special. So we started our day at the legendary Diyarbakır city walls. Did you know that these are the second longest defensive walls in the world, right after the Great Wall of China? Walking along these ancient basalt stone, you can truly feel the weight of history. It has stood for thousands of years, protecting the city through countless empires. What makes them so striking right away is their dark color. They are built almost entirely out of a black basalt rock, which gives the whole city a very dramatic and imposing look. These walls stretch for nearly 6 kilometers along the whole city and feature 82 massive watchtowers and 4 main historical gates that once controlled the entire trade of region. Now let's step into the real pulse of Diyarbakir, the historical bazaars. Walking through these narrow vaulted stone walkway is like traveling back in the time. The most famous part is this bazaar. As you walk through, you will hear the rhythmic ting 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 of hammers hitting coppers. It is authentic soundtrack of this city. Now we are heading towards the Grand Mosque of Diyarbakir, as it is locally known Ulu Kami. This is not just a place of worship, it is one of the oldest and most significant Islamic monuments in all over the city. When you first step into the court, the architecture immediately grabs your attention. It's a fascinating mix of styles. The mosque was originally converted from a Byzantine church in the 7th century, and you can still see the influence of that era in these columns and the way the stones are carved. Every shop here feels like a small museum. The craftsmen are incredibly skilled, and watching them work on their trades is just as fascinating as the final products themselves. As I was walking through these streets, I heard a melody that felt like the true voice of Diyarbakir. I found this street performing near the corner. There was something so raw and captivating about the way he poured his heart into his music. Even though I couldn't understand all the lyrics, the emotion in his voice told a story of his own, a story of city's pain, its joy, and its soul. If you love food, Diyarbakir is a dream destination. I made sure to stop at a local restaurant to try the famous Diyarbakir kebab. The way they use local spices and fresh ingredients makes every bite tasty, authentic, and unforgettable. Many of the restaurants are set in historic, restored stone buildings with cozy environment. Sitting there enjoy the local food while soaking into the centuries old architecture was one of the highlights of my trip. Now we spent a few more time to see the local dry fruit of the city, so these are here. And after that, I have brought you the heart of Diyarbakir's social life, Hassan Pasha Hanul. Built over 400 years ago as a stopover for Silk Road merchants, today it's a living, breathing square that feels like time has stood still. Now we are heading towards a hotel to eat something and to take some rest because wandering on the streets for more than 4 or 5 hours from the morning, And now we are a little bit tired, so to take some rest, we are going towards a hotel. There we would spend 2 or 3 hours more and then we will return back to our main hotel. So this is the front view or entry of that hotel where we have to spend some time. Guys, you would not believe this view. I'm currently at Fiskaya Social Facilities, or as locals call it, Fiskaya Camtiras. What makes this place special is the massive glass terrace. Walking on it feels like you are literally floating above the city. You know, people told me that I have to try these sweets here, and I finally did. So I went for classic kunefe and some local baklava, and honestly, it's a game changer. You haven't really seen Diyarbakır until you have dived into its street food. Forget the fancy restaurants for a second, and the real soul of this city is found right here, on the street corners where the smoke from charcoal grills fills the air. Locals start eating these food from evening until the morning. True beauty of Diyarbakır is not just the architect or the views, it's the energy. You will hear traditional Kurdish storytellers singing their hearts out. You feel it in the bustling bazaars where the smell of roasted coffee, spices, and fresh bread hangs in the air. The people here are resilient, they are welcoming, and so nice and amazing. You come here as a stranger, but you feel like as a part of a massive shared history. You know, one of the most fascinating things about Diyarbakir is how you can jump between centuries just crossing by a street. The streets are tight, winding, and paved with the same black basalt stone that built the city walls. And they were not designed for cars, actually, they were designed for people. And then we spent approximately 2 to 2.5 hours in a cafe where we drank again Turkish coffee. You know, I couldn't decide tonight should I go for authentic traditional flavor of Diyarbakir or satisfy that modern craving. Starting with the local kebab, this is the soul of a city. You get that smoky charcoal grilled taste that you just can't find anywhere else. It's a spicy, it's a tender, and it's totally classic. So after dinner, we decided to move back to our home because it was midnight. So let me end this vlog and meet in next vlog. Goodbye.